Hi, I'm Betsy Shepardson, artist and author, here to let you know something about the illustration work I did for the Russian Tea Room in New York City. I learned about the restaurant in my first job in the New York art world with Frances Steloff at the Gotham Book Mart and Gallery when a friend took her there for a birthday lunch. The Russian Tea Room was later interested in my work background, which also included teaching. People had liked my manuscript for the surprising adventure, a story in words and pictures. I learned from Gotham Book Mart and Gallery that I needed an agent and was soon being guided by an agent, Elaine Sorrell. Although I was already a professional in illustration, we worked with other people, and I was in studio at the Art Students League of New York with Earl Mahan, an artist and illustrator. I was doing a painting of the restaurant from my own photographs and had it all decorated for the holidays when Mr. Mahan suggested showing it to Faye Stewart-Gordon, the owner. He had heard her on the radio and knew she was an art collector and quite knowledgeable about art. Elaine, the agent, suggested having my work professionally photographed, and I left a C-print by the restaurant. Mrs. Stewart-Gordon got it and purchased the painting. The image was used for many years as the official holiday card for the restaurant. When purchased, Snow Scene Russian Tea Room was also blown up to poster size for display in the 57th Street window. It was exciting as people remarked and commented on it, and some people were even interested in buying the poster. Elaine was using promotional postcards for marketing. I had always been interested in cards and learned quite a bit about antique postcards from the Gotham Book Mart Gallery, where they had a number of books about them. Elaine gave design advice and encouraged me to develop as a painter. Mr. Mahan suggested making different versions of the same subject and talked about the avant-garde French painters he recommended learning from. I discovered that Toulouse-Lautrec enjoyed making postcards, and that the early publishers wanted them raised to the same level as the collecting of works of art. Martin Solomon, now on social media as Martin Solomon Art and Design, helped me publish a set of different paintings that I did with master watercolorists Dale Myers and Mario Cooper, also an illustrator, in studio at the Art Students League of New York. Russian Tea Room circa 1949 is one of that set. Additionally, I published some note cards with Martin Solomon, made a couple of logos, and learned quite a bit about typography and its applications in art and design. Faye Stewart-Gordon was interested in the cards and bought many, where I mounted Russian Tea Room circa 1949 to a blank cream folder and signed the back of the folder each individually for her, and it had matching envelopes. This painting was done from an old trade card. The Russian Tea Room was founded in 1926 by members of the Imperial Ballet fleeing communism. You may recall that Mr. Mahan suggested making different versions, and I also made a number of handcrafted oil monoprints with him, some of which were done from antique postcards. The Hippodrome Theater, located in Times Square from 1905 to 1939, was called the world's largest theater. It had architecture similar to Coney Island with big aquatic shows and state-of-the-art theatrical technology. In 1916, the famous dancer Anna Pavlova danced the Sleeping Beauty there. This ballerina was an outstanding performer of the Imperial Ballet who later danced independently with her own company. She was the first ballerina to tour the world. Elaine liked the oil monoprints and suggested making postcards of them too, and I added to the series. Although most of my paintings are done in gouache watercolor, I did do quite a bit of work in oils. And you can see that by now, Elaine was using smaller C-prints. The Russian Tea Room was also reprinting Snow Scene Russian Tea Room as a holiday card at a smaller size with a bigger white border. There are characteristics that are similar to oils with gouache, is that it's opaque and I often use an underpainting. When Vester Gordon sold the restaurant, she used Russian tea room circa 1949 as the cover image for a book jacket for a memoir that she did. The original painting was purchased by Hassan Bibaraj, a later investor in the restaurant under different ownership. Both were interested in my cards and in the manuscript for the surprising adventure, a story in words and pictures. This is a seaprint of what that book jacket looked like at that time. As you can see, it was an earlier work done in collage. Elaine Sorrell, the agent, liked my writing and encouraged the story note card idea first explored in the Dale Myers Mario Cooper watercolor workshop. Elaine suggested that what I might try to do is get a double-page magazine spread. Mr. Mann was correct that people might be interested in helping me and that my paintings would be good for book jackets.